Okay, so yesterday's homework was number 53 to 62. So let's quickly take up these ones right here. 53A, you had to solve for x, y, and z. So, okay, I can solve for y first because supplementary angle. So y equals just 180 degrees minus 68 degrees. So y is 112. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's say I made a mistake. I get less than 90 degrees. You know it's wrong because I'm looking at an obtuse angle right here. Okay. Uh, there's two different ways you can solve for x and z. I'll show this way actually. This one, you can actually solve for z because you have the two other exterior angles. All three exterior angles actually add up to 360. So it's not only for triangle, but another exterior angle theorem is that the exterior outside angles add up to 360. So z equals 360 minus the 112 minus the 130, and that will give you the angle for Z, which is Betsy. What did you get? 118. I like that answer. All right, and then now that you know that Z is 118, then you can solve for X, which is again another supplementary angle. So X equals 180 minus 118. So you get sorry, not 112. Yes, and it's, see, acute angle. So definitely not that. Yes, you are right. 62. Good. Okay. Uh, the other way that you could have done it is if this is 130, that means this is 50. And then 68 plus 50, subtract that from 180, you can get your x that way as well. Right. So usually these ones, there's a couple of ways to solve it. What is angle y right here? 20. Y. What is this angle called? Inscribed. Right. They're both your inscribed angles. And then, so what is x then? X is y? Central. That's right. So double your inscribed angle. This is your central angle. Okay, the spelling count? Yes. Right. Draw a block spot given the following. So the first thing that you should do is order them in lowest to smallest, with lowest to largest. So I did that for you already. Cut down the work. So if you find the median, you'll see that it's 12. Okay. So what are the different names for this? This is my median, also called Q2. Yeah. Right. So yeah. I don't have any more. I photocopied like 70 copies. Uh, we'll try to find it after. We'll take this up first. Okay. First half. So to the left of your median, since we used 12 already, I'm not gonna use it again. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna do the Q1 from this first half of numbers, and I can see it's this 4 right here. So Q1 equals 4. What's another name for Q1? Yeah, lower quartile. That's what the Q stands for. Lower quartile. Quartile. Okay. And then same thing here. Looking at this set, median is 18, so Q3 is 18, and that's called my upper quartile. Quartile. Okay, what are my other two numbers? I need 5 numbers to draw my box. Min and max. min, max. Okay, so when I draw my box plot now, what's the first thing I draw? Scale, right? So, 3, uh, let's go by, actually, let's go by 5. Uh, let's go by 5. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, now that I have my scale, I can draw my box. So 3, 32, 4, 12, 18. Okay, if it's off by a little, it's fine. As long as I can tell. So if you don't write out these numbers, like you notice right here, I see that Q1 equals 4, but then here um, it almost looks like it's 5. Okay, so then just right, it's better to write more than too little on the exam. Um, Okay, so that's what my box plot looks like. Notice it's not symmetrical. It never has to be symmetrical. That's why we need the scale. Okay? Each one of these sections is how much? 25%. Good. Okay. So it means half the people got above 12. And I keep telling you guys, do you need to know how to draw a box plot on the exam? Yeah. Okay. So you know one of the questions already. How much was this question worth? 5 marks. So I just told you a 5 mark question. And number 55, angles. What's the relationship between those two angles? Perfect. Co-interior, the C pattern. So what does that mean? Good job. Co-interior, which means they add to 180 degrees. Okay, so 11x plus 10 plus 10x minus 40. When you add them up, it should equal 180. Okay? The degree sign doesn't matter. You can add it in at the end. So collect the like terms. So 21x minus 30 equals 180. So when you divide it, you get 21x equals 210. So x equals 10 degrees. What about this one? What is the theorem called? Perfect. Good job, guys. Exterior angle theorem, EAT, eat. Alright, which means this angle plus this angle equals the outside angle. So x plus 42 plus 3x minus 20. When you add it up, it equals the 5x. So 4x plus 22 equals 5x. Move that over. You get, I'm just, yeah, you could move the other one over instead, but same thing. So that x equals 22 degrees. Okay. If the exam question asks you to solve for each individual angle, don't forget to substitute it back into the diagram. Okay. Moving right along because we're just checking up the homework, so that means that you are just checking your numbers. Solve for the missing side in a right angle triangle. Okay, so I am solving for the side length, so I'm doing the subtraction one. So let's call it x. Okay, so 39 squared minus 36 squared. Simple as that. So when you square root it, let's see. Emmy, what did you get? What about you, Margaret? Sorry? 15. Okay. And then this one, I'm looking for the hypotenuse. How I know is because it's right across from that 90-degree symbol. So that C equals, I'm adding them. Okay. And so, Margaret, what did you get for this one? 41.2. Okay. Don't forget units, centimeters. Okay. Nice and easy. If you see Pythagorean theorem on the exam, it should be easy marks. Okay, this one, some people had trouble with this because it's a word problem. It's not as bad as it seems. Okay, so this is Sydney. Sydney is in front of the goalie, and his distance to either post is 5 meters. So this is 5 meters, this is 5 meters. That's the goalie standing in between the pole. So I see an isosceles triangle right here, but isosceles triangle doesn't help us. What kind of triangle helps us? Right angle, right? So I'm gonna instead do this. So that's my right angle right there. So the goalie is X distance away from the post. And then between the Sydney and the goalie is 3 times that distance. So this is 3x right here. Okay. So how wide is the net? So that means right angle triangle. I'm doing Pythagorean theorem, just looking at this right here. So those are my connections. So 3x plus, oh, so 3x squared plus x squared equals 5 squared, right? This length squared plus this length squared equal this length squared. So I get 9x squared plus x squared equals 25. Add it, so I get 10x squared equals 25. Solving it means I'm going to divide it, so 2.5, and then square root it, 2.5, square root 2.5. I get, if I round it to the nearest 10, okay, let me go over some rounding as well. I got this. So if I round it to the nearest tenth, what would my final answer be? 1.6. Full marks? Meters. Okay, so how? Oh, and then still full marks? No, why not? Right. I want to know how long the whole length is. So this is x, this is x. So that means I have to times this by 2, so that the width of the net is 3.2 meters. Anybody play hockey here? No hockey player? Oh. I was wondering, I have no clue how wide that net is. The hockey net. What about soccer? I think we have a couple of soccer players here, right? Do you play soccer? How wide is the goal post? Oh, okay. Any other soccer player? I thought we had a couple. Hussein, do you play soccer? No. I thought we had a few. Okay. Okay, these ones are pretty quick. So number 57, correlation coefficient. Remember that? Yep. Huh? You remember. You wanted to tell me you remember that. Okay. So I said this before, I'll say it again. So what are the numbers, possible numbers for correlation coefficient? What's the max? What's the min? 1 and negative 1. Okay. 1, we say is strong. And what about negative 1? Also strong. That's right. So what's weak? What number is weak? 0. 0 is weak. So when it's close to 0, it's weak. Okay. And then don't forget, you can also have positive, negative. Okay. So strong, negative, strong, positive. And then in this case, what do you think? Does this show a positive or negative trend? Negative. Right. So if I were to draw some sort of line of this fit, it looks something like that. Okay. So it's either A or B. Um, would you say this is strong or weak? More leaning towards, well, weak. Yeah. So it's weak. Right. Remember, the closer the points are to the line, the stronger it is. Okay, a townhouse built last year sold for $525,000. Suppose the house in the area appreciated. What does appreciate mean? Up. Money going up. Yay. By an average of 15% in the past year. Calculate the appreciation and the estimated value of the house today. So I want to figure out 15% of 525,000. So where's my calculator? Over here. Okay, so as 15%, what do I have to do with this? Every time you see a percent in a question, change it to a decimal. It's like, it should be automatic by now. Of means times 525 means 525. So it means they pay, it increased by 78,750. So what is the value of the price now? Where's my red pen? Why did I put it away? Okay, plus 525,000. That means the house is now worth $603,750. Does that make sense? Yeah, in reality, that does make sense, and so that's why everybody is investing in real estate. Real estate. Okay, and then sadly, depreciation rate, which means value going down of a tablet. Makes sense? Because it's getting slower and slower and slower after you installed Among Us and stuff. Okay, so it takes up a lot of RAM. Determine the estimated value of the purchase tablet at $9.99. Right? So 30% of 999. So 0.30 times this, you get $299.70. All right. You can't just divide it by 3 because remember, if you divide it by 3, it's 33%, not 30%. So, and I did two decimal places because we're talking about money. Right. So does that mean the tablet is worth $299 now? No. How much is it worth? Right. That's how much it depreciates. So you have to subtract that value from the original price. So 630 cents. Good. Okay. So do not invest in tablets, invest in house. Okay. Number 60 is a little tricky because it gave you a lot of useless information. So Surya took out a $5,000 personal loan at 8% compound interest compounded monthly over 2 years. Her monthly payment is $226.14. What is the total amount that she must repay over the length of the loan? So, in simple, they actually calculated this for you already. They already told you how much they need to repay every month. So 226.14, I just have to times it by the term. What should I times it by? Should I times it by 2? Sorry? I heard it over here. 24. Yes, you said 24. It must be the patty in her mouth. That's why I couldn't hear. Alright, because this is monthly payment. This is 2 years. So it has to be the same unit. So change it to 24 months. Times it by 24. So you get 5427.36. Okay. How much interest did she pay overall then? So if you subtract it from that $5,000 original price, that means she paid $427.36 over the 2 years. Not too bad. All right. On a side note, what is the formula for compound interest? Let's say I didn't tell you that it's 226 and you had to calculate it yourself. Yeah. 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 Good. Okay. So remember, I is the interest rate per term. So the percentage that you get is always an annual interest rate. So when I do this, I would have to do 0.08 divided by 12 to change it to months. And then this would be 24 also in months. Okay. Last 2 questions. So referring to her question here, what will happen to her monthly payment in each situation? Will it increase or decrease? So instead of having the loan for 2 years, she decides to have the loan for 3 years. What will happen to her monthly payment? Sorry? Decrease, that's right. Okay, so this is a tricky question. You are paying more interest, but because you are taking your time to repay, so your monthly payment is decreased. So, for example, here, that $5,427, instead of taking 24 months to pay it off, you're taking 36 months to pay it off. And so your monthly payment actually decreases. Okay? But yes, you are paying more interest. The interest rate is changed from 8% to 7%. So this one is an easy one. Decrease, right? So because you're getting a loan. So interest going down is good for you. The principal is 4,000 instead of 5,000 because she put a $1,000 down payment. Down payment means like reduce your principal. So if you reduce your principal, you don't have to borrow as much money now. What will happen to your monthly payment? Decrease. Decrease. Yes, because your principal is lower now. Right. You will see these type of questions on EQAO. They'll tell you like if this happened, what happens? What about this? And then what happened to the interest or stuff. Okay. Last one right here. Complete the table. So total income. So this is like a pay stub. So the income 164.55 plus 182.09. Total income 346.64. And then here total expense means all these type of expense. Save for own car. Is this Need or want? Want, right. Um, Fixed or variable? This one is a tricky one. Um, it depends how strict Marina is. If she's like, I have to get that car, I'm so determined. Every single month I'm gonna save up 100. Then it becomes a fix. Okay. Spending money. Is this a need or a want? Want. Okay. Fix or variable? Variable, definitely. Okay. Car insurance. A need or a want? Need. Right. You need insurance. Did you know that you have to have insurance to drive a car? It's not optional. Yeah, in case because they think you're not good drivers, and in case you kill somebody, then yeah. So it's when you go to a dealership, the one of the document that they have to have is insurance before they let you drive it out. Um, is this a fixed or a variable? Fixed. Insurance is usually fixed. Alright, so need or want, and then fixed or variable. Remember, these are totally different. They're different. All right. There's no connection between a need has to be variable or a want has to be fixed. Like there's not. It's two separate ideas. Okay. So when you add up the rest of these, da 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 da, cell phone, gas. Okay. Your expense is $325. So income minus expense. Okay, you have $21.64 left. Is this a good budget? Because okay, they have money left, so technically they have an extra $20 in the spending money. Alright, but in the long run, not very good. Okay, um, if it was negative, what do we call that again? A deficit. Good. All right, so there you go. We finished the whole exam review package. Okay. Don't forget uh, you have the EQAO package that we worked on before. This one right here. Right. So you have this weekend. You have this to study. You have this to study. And I have a note to go home. Alright, that talks about EQAO and when you're writing it and how it's gonna look, and that, yeah, don't be late, don't be absent. Uh, yeah. When is EQAO? Wednesday. What time? Yes. All right, next Wednesday. Couple of days from now, 1 p.m. Where? In the cab.